AI is everywhere. We hear about AI everywhere. And most of us in this room interact and engage with AI in one way or the other. From simple YouTube recommendations to Netflix movie recommendations or to using Google Maps, we actually engage and use AI tools every single day. There are other ways we use AI tools. Most of us here use iPhones or Android phones, and so we use Siri, the assistant, or we use Google. Whichever case, a large portion, a majority of us here engage with AI in one way or the other. Now, last year in November, the founder of Telegram, a social media app, made a post on X, and he highlighted the story of a developer who made a net profit of $1 million in just 20 days after he launched his Telegram mini app. Now, the best part of this story is that this developer actually built the entire mini app over a weekend in just 3 days. You see, AI is beyond the hype. A lot of us talk about AI as though we engage with it meaningfully. But then AI should be just a tool that helps us become more effective people in whatever that we do. Let me share a personal story with you. About 3 years ago, a friend of mine introduced me to this business, Bill's Payment Service business. And basically, the idea is to help users to purchase airtime or buy data bundles through a VTU website. And I know most of us here use such services, isn't it? You buy data from somebody or you purchase airtime from somebody. And so a couple of weeks later, we put up a website together. We launched it. We got a couple of users. And just about 3 weeks into that venture, I noticed that the entire process it takes for a user to acquire or purchase data or airtime was quite long. For some, they have to visit a website, log in or create a new account, then search through the networks providers, then put their phone numbers, then select their data bundles, then put their passwords, and then they have data. And so I thought to myself, how can I simplify that entire process? How can I make this condensed into just 1 or 2 steps for the user? And so I thought to build a chatbot, a WhatsApp chatbot, something, something close to you. How about just chatting and say, hey, I want 5 GB of this network for this number. And then the chatbot helps you to purchase that in few seconds. Now, I had a challenge. I was not very strong with my JavaScript, although I was a computer science graduate. And so I checked around to find developers who could help me build the back end of my chatbot, this MVP, my wonderful idea. After a couple of searches, I got one person who understood the concept and was willing to work with me to build my chatbot, my dream app. But then the amount he charged me was, as at that time, about 6 months worth of what I could even make in a month. Don't ask me about my savings. So I couldn't go ahead with the deal, of course. I had to call it off. But then I was talking to my brother the next week, and he mentioned ChatGPT. He said, there's this new app, a conversational AI. I should give it a try. It's mind-blowing. I was like, okay, let me check it out and see. And when I went on ChatGPT, the first thing I asked it was, can you code? Can you write JavaScript? Because I was burning with passion to develop my chatbot. Surprisingly, it said yes. I can write JavaScript, I can write Python, I can write PHP, I can write Node.js. And I'm like, wow, this is my co-founder. ChatGPT is my co-founder. Now, just 7 days later, I built my chatbot with the help of my co-founder. I was able to learn the basics of JavaScript from ChatGPT, and then used ChatGPT to write my code base, and I shipped my product. About 8 months later, to surprise you to know that I had about 500 monthly active users. And I was making money when I was sleeping. I was making money when I was walking. I was making money when I was smiling. And I felt like Bill Gates, who has just finished his Microsoft software. And I thought this must have how he felt after he finished Microsoft. So exciting, so proud, but most of all, fulfilled. I was able to bring into life the idea that I had. I used AI to turn a simple idea into profit. And that is because AI is a multiplier. AI multiplies your efforts. AI multiplies your time. AI multiplies your output. AI even multiplies your accuracy. Imagine the power of what you plus AI can achieve. So much. I want to share a couple of tools that I use personally when I build my products. Because after my first version of TokoPay, I built a lot of other tools, as you would have imagined. I even have a Google Chrome extension that helps me to increase the volume of tabs when they are too low, because that has been a very painful experience for me when I try to play a video on YouTube or any website and the volume is too low. And so in just one prompt, GitHub Copilot built me a Chrome extension that is in my name because I prompted it. And then now I have my own Chrome extension. Now there are so many tools you could use to automate your workflow and to automate processes if you're a business. Or for an organization, you could automate repetitive tasks. And one of them is Make. Make.com is a very intuitive and UI-driven application. It helps you to connect different apps together visually. And Make was one of the tools that I use to build my chatbot. Or you could use tools like Claude by Anthropic, or even Jasper AI, one of my favorites, to create content. Content that stands out, that is unique to you, and content that can even speak like you. In multimedia, earlier we had a video played for TEDxYola. That was made in just 2 minutes. One single crafted prompt produced a 3-minute video that has an intro, a chorus, the verses, the bridge, and even the video. That's the power of AI. There are so many tools you could use. 11 Labs can help you as a content creator to clone your voice. And so one of my friends, Ishan Sharma, who is in India, has over 3 million followers or subscribers on his YouTube channel. He's my friend in my mind, I meant to say. Now, Ishan Sharma has been making a lot of money from YouTube without doing anything. All he had to do was record a 30-minute video of himself speaking, and then 11 Labs and HeyGen AI helped him to recreate himself. And so you could hear his voice, his accent, his intonation, and his face, and every facial expression that he would have naturally expressed while talking. Right now, he owns an agency that outsources or consults for international organizations in the US and the UK and the likes. But then all he had to do was 30 minutes of work. AI is very powerful. But then, how do you turn the potential of AI into profit? How do you maximize these tools to turn the ideas that you have into a profitable one? I'll give you some few steps, but the last step is the most important one. The first step is this: define your idea. Look for a problem, find a gap, look for a pain point around you, the people around you, where you work. Find that problem. The next thing is to look for an AI tool that can help you solve that problem. When you have the right stack, then you're sure of getting the right output. Stack is a technical word for just a set of tools that you use to build a tech product. So find the right AI tool that can help you achieve your goals. Number 3 is to create a system around that goal or that objective. So you found a problem, you found a solution. Now create a system that can replicate what you would have done to solve that problem. Define the inputs, define what happens after we receive the inputs, and also define what kind of output it's supposed to give. And when you can do that, you're on your way to making profit with AI. Number 4 is to ship fast. Now, when I built TokoPay, I didn't have to wait to have a grand chatbot that could intuitively talk to you, know what you want to do, tell you how are you doing today. All that the first version had was, "Hi, I am TokoPay." Then it asks you, "What do you want to do?" And then you tell it, "Give me this amount of airtime from this network for this number." And you put in your PIN, and then it does it for you. But the most recent version of TokoPay can even listen to your audio and do it for you. So the point is to start where you are. Start with the minimum viable product. That's why it's called a minimum viable product. Is it working? You found a problem, found a solution, have a system. You have tried that system with several things, can be from various angles to see if it works. As long as it works with the most basic of features, then you're good to go. Learn to ship fast. To ship fast means to release your product to the public. Allow people to begin to interact with that product, to begin to give you feedback. And when you do so, you will see that it will be successful. The next step is iterate and innovate. When you have an MVP, it is not perfect yet. But now you don't want to have an app or a product or services that nobody needs. And that's why you must ship fast. Most times what entrepreneurs think people need might not be right. What people need is what they tell you that they need. And so when you ship your product, listen to feedback. Check with your users that engage with your product. Use AI to interpret that data, and you'll definitely see success. The last step, very, very important step. If you miss all the steps I've given you, don't miss this one step. When your app is successful, look for me and give me 10% of whatever you make from it. Thank you. AI has come to stay. We've heard various speakers speak about it. There's no going back with AI. The real question is, how much do you want to make with it? I'll leave you with that question. Thank you.